Testing, testing, 1, 2. Testing, testing, 1, 2. Testing, testing, 1, 2. Testing, testing, 1, 2.
Shalom, Israel. We're the I.S.U.P.K. Charlotte 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Under Commander General YAHANNA, where we teach blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians make up the 12 tribes of Israel. We are not affiliated with any other Israelite group. Officer I.S.U.P.K, teaching the Lashawan Qadash class here in Greenville, South Carolina. Have Trooper Nayar in class, a few other troopers here. Well, who we have checking in the class, Nayar?
That's me.
That's you? No, that's fine.
Okay.
Good. That's good. 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 As they check in, let me know.
Okay.
And I'm gonna have my trooper here assist me and learn some more things here. But here we're in the title. What we have in the title tonight? Ancient over Assyrian.
Ancient over Assyrian.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. The ancient over Assyrian Hebrew is what I'm talking about. Which one is better? Which one is easier to use? Which one the Most High gave us? Right? Which one did He give us? Because we certainly over here in America, man, when been in captivity, Deuteronomy 28, what is that? 15 or 16, one of those.
I think it's 15 and 16.
Look it up. Look it up. And then it's a language that when we came here in America, it's a language that we cannot speak. We can't speak English that well, so we had to learn it. I'm sorry, we couldn't speak English at all, so we had to learn it. And of course, most of us barely can speak English that well, and that's what the deal is. That's why I say we're in captivity under the Babylon captivity, man. That's the Egypt oppression all over again. When we were captured in Egypt, we were under
Deuteronomy 14 and 15.
Yeah, find that.
Okay. Are you gonna read that?
Yeah, let me see what you got. And then when we were brought to this land, man, yeah, see what you got. We were brought to this land over here, and we're stuck in this land until the Most High get us out of here, man. But we were stuck in Egypt until the Most High moved us out. And of course, that's what we're talking about. We'll be talking about that tomorrow also. But right now, in Lashawan Qadash class, we're talking about how the oppressors got us to a language that we cannot even we would not understand. We wouldn't understand it, right? But now we understand a little better. And so by learning over and over again, what you got? Yeah, I'll just say, yes, Deuteronomy 20:15. I'm trying to find out where the, thought you found that for me there, but I found it. Is that right? Is that a problem? Okay, blessed, we are in a land where, find that, here. Just keep reading it down here till you find the, well, we won't be able to understand the language. I think it's language that we don't even understand, man. Here it is right here. Right there. Okay. Nation tongue, 49, read that. Go ahead, stand up here in front of the camera. Go ahead, read it. Go ahead.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 49.
Right.
The Lord shall bring a nation against thee
Right.
from far, from the end of the earth,
Right.
as swift as the eagle flieth.
That's America, right?
Come,
That's the
come.
symbol that America uses, right?
Come.
All right, and that's how we know that we're in the captivity of Babylon in America.
Right.
Speaking what? Go ahead.
A nation whose tongue,
Whose what?
whose tongue,
Whose what?
whose
The
tongue,
Bible says whose tongue. That's what it is. Their tongue is what now, y'all?
thou shalt not understand.
Thou should understand. We don't battle. We came over here and understand English, but that don't mean that we know how to read, right?
Right.
We got. Let's read that again.
The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from afar.
Right. That nation against us is this wicked Babylon here, which is what people call America. Good old U.S. of natural Caucasus A.
Right.
Right?
Right.
And that's just the language whose language we cannot understand, man. Finish reading.
From the end of the earth,
Mhm.
as swift as the eagle
Like
flieth.
coming over that ocean was just like the end of the earth, man. I mean, it's like swift as the eagle flieth, man. That means as far straight away as the eagle will fly, straight away like this, straight over here to the Americas. When we went captivity over in Egypt, man, we had to learn the Egyptian language over there too. And of course, when we were in Syria, and that's what we're talking about tonight, we had to learn their language. But under that captivity, when we learned their language, they made us pronounce our vowels and symbols in a way that we have to use their chicken scratch symbols, right?
Right.
So when we say Abagada Hawazagatayakala Manasa Akatazakwara Shakta, it's the same thing, but only their letters look different. And it's got Indian characters and all kinds of stuff, right now, y'all? And then we're going to show you the difference here. Which one is easier, Assyrian or ancient, right? That's good enough. That's all. I appreciate that. That's good, brother, right there. All right. So, now y'all, come on up here, man. Let's break down some of this. And well, we got people checking in class still. Let's check this out. Yeah, I believe they do. Yeah. Check out what we want to do. Now, y'all, and reading Hebrew, we read it from what? Right to left? Yeah. You sure? Right. Okay. Correct. How many of those symbols do we have in the ancient and the
in the Assyrian we have 22.
22. Let's see. Have we had they put it as let's see if the officer put it up in the chat yet for you to get your Hebrew name. Let's see. Has he done that yet? Let's see. Do you see that? Yeah. Attendance. Is that up in the that has not fallen in there yet. Huh? Is that we're waiting on Officer Shaw to put that in the to post it in the up there for us, right?
Okay.
Sign into the class, or you can get your name and your understanding of your name and in Hebrew will tell you all of that once you participate in class, right? We'll put it up in the chat. Shar, we're waiting for you. A timely fashion here, somewhere. So class is live, right? All right. Let's see here. Who else that checking class?
So like I said, we got Trooper Matayala.
Trooper Matayala checks in class. Good. And who else? Let's see what we got in YouTube here. Have people checking in all the time. Let's see, YouTube. We finally got our YouTube. Finally got it checking up, working here, right? Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. What in Hebrew? What we're going to attempt to do here? We're going to show you the difference between ancient and Assyrian to show you that how messed up the Assyrian language is, but we have to still learn it, right? So what's that first one we got there, Mata? I mean, Nayar?
Assyrian.
What's the first? I want you to take the Assyrian and write that word down for me. Write it over there. Yeah, there you go. And remember, you're writing right to left in Hebrew, right? Oh yeah, write it in English. I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. Write down what you think that means. There you go. Because we have it already transliterated, right? Uh-huh. What is that, an R?
You want me to? Yeah.
Here you go. Is that an R? Oh, that's a Y. That should be a Y, right?
Yes, like so.
There you go. Uh-huh. And what's the last thing there? Is that a ha? What is that?
The concept,
Yeah, ha. Gotcha. Just wanted to make sure the word was spelled correct. Okay, so that's what you get out of that? All right, go ahead and write it down in ancient, right? And right above there, yeah, put a A up there for ancient up to the, and then Assyrian would put a ASSR, YR, I'm sorry. So go ahead and do this one right here. What is that? What does it say? Kwawa, right? You don't have to say kwawaha. Why not?
Because they depend on each other. That gets the full sound.
Get the full what? Get the full sound. The wa, right? And the ha doesn't get the I. So you don't want to say wa ha, or they say kwawa. You can barely hear that H sound, that ha sound, right? So the word is pronounced what?
Kwawa.
Kwawa. Go ahead and write that down. You see how you get instructions? See, the Most High gave us instructions of how to write words, right? Did he not? Now let's look at these words here. They're spelled the same, aren't they? Right? Okay. And by them being ASSRW, I'm sorry, YR. Yeah, it's close enough. And no, I think you got them backwards there. That's ancient right there. You just wrote. It doesn't matter, but you can write it above these two, you'll see. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. That makes sense because we have it on the board there. Okay? So when you're writing a word, that's close enough. So when you're writing a word, you realize that these are spelled, they look different, don't they? Because the spelling on them is using different symbols.
Right.
And those different symbols, kwawa, and then at the top you have kwawa.
Right.
But you were able to decipher and understand it through the transliteration of how to say that, right?
Right.
Why? What's the biggest reason? I mean, you know, you did it, you said it right. Go ahead. Huh? The yarn top, good. Okay, good. Sharp put up the posted. Has he posted the?
Selected live.
You guys not posted it in there yet? All right.
It's two different symbols, but it means the same thing.
It was the same thing, right? So how do you know how to write the kwawa in this language? In the ancient language. Break that down. Kwa, and then what are these? Just see, what do you see? What are these called?
Character. Well,
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
But what are these called?
In connectors. Oh, not in connectors.
Connectors, right. Right, exactly. Say it again?
Thank you, Lord. It's like,
No, it's all right. They connectors, right?
right.
So what connections do you see? Break that down. Explain that.
It's first connected. That is independent. connected, and that's the dependent connected.
Okay, good. So the first connector, so the one with the upside down user dependent connector, right? Underline the qua that you see there. Matter of fact, let me give you a, go ahead, underline. I'll get you a, so we can have a little bit better. Right? All right. The wah, where you hear that at?
Wow.
Yeah. Right. And I want everybody to pay attention to that wah, right? Go ahead. Well, yeah. Okay, no, that's fine. Now explain how you get wah out of that.
Cause the wa, which is in the ancient, it gets its full. The wa gets its full sound.
And what does that wah sound? Like wah, right? Okay. So that's the wah. Okay. Now what? What tells you that it gets its full sound?
Because it has a dependent dependent connector.
Okay, and it's connecting to what sound?
It's connected to the ha.
Right?
Right.
All right, keep going. And so what? How come this gonna get the full sound to it?
Because if it didn't have this connected, if it had this one, it would be qua wa ha.
Ah, very good, right?
Right.
Kwa waha, clap it up for that brother right there. Kwa waha, right?
Right.
But we said kwa wa.
Right.
So we want this whole sound to be dependent on each other, right?
Right.
Okay? Get to the microphone right there for a second. Typing what?
Still typing.
You still typing? Okay. Gotcha. Well, wah? All right. Now, so what makes that, so here, so change this to two independent connectors. Use a different color. So for illustration, right? Change that to two different. Now write that word below that. Tell me what that sounds like. There you go. Well, I proved that point, right? Okay, explain that.
So, qua wa ha, it looks like this because it has independent connectors.
Okay, explain each one of them.
Both of the wa is independent and the ha is independent, so it gets its own sound.
Explain that.
So that's how you get that wa and the ha with the a at the end.
Right. Exactly. Right? So the word would be qua wa ha.
Right.
Well, that ain't the word we want though, is it?
Right.
What we want?
Qua ra.
Qua wa. Right? And then, well, and the only way to get that is to what?
Is to put a dependent connector on.
And so we can alleviate
Right.
some sounds.
Right.
It's a way of making sound. And the Most High did that for us, did he not?
Count.
Did he not do that for us?
Right.
He did that, well, and so he did that because we had not been in captivity, right?
Right.
Okay. Did you, so that understanding, when we say kwawaha and versus kwawa, you understand the two different, right? So that's up for the right. Exactly right. So go ahead and erase that and put it back into where it's supposed to be. Now that's in the what? Ancient or the Assyrian?
The ancient.
Ancient or the Assyrian, right? It's in the ancient.
Count.
Okay, then you go ahead and erase that. We don't need that kwawaha, right? We don't need that. Now explain the Assyrian. That same thing. Try to do it in the Assyrian.
The Assyrian doesn't get no dependent or independent connected.
Right. Why not?
Slice, I'm not sure why.
No, because it's non-existent.
Right.
That's the point.
Count.
That's why you're not sure. That's why I'm not sure.
Right.
So why would they give us a language that is in doubt of understanding? Because even if, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Because you were in, Assyrian captivity. So, well,
You got an answer for that?
I
All right then. We were in Assyrian captivity and they didn't give us one.
right, get it right.
They tried to modify our sounds, which the Most High gave us,
Right.
with connectors, and tried to give us the same sounds. Did they not?
Count.
That's the problem there. Right?
Count.
Yeah, we still ain't got the post in there yet.
Let me see.
See what we got. Yeah, that's why we have the languages, a language barrier from the Assyrian to the ancient. And it's not, I mean, we have to learn both of them because some of our writings are written in the Assyrian. And a lot of them are, and some of them are written in the what we call Old Paleo or the ancient Hebrew. That's the thing. What are you doing? Read on the chat?
Nah, he told me to refresh it.
Huh?
He said he posted it in the chat.
Okay. And that's why. So when we do that, we don't have an understanding of how to get a new sound out of here. We can only pronounce that one way and hope to get it right. So when we say kwawa, what you got there?
I still don't see it on there. He said he did. I still don't see it on there.
I don't either. Shar, if you hear me, go ahead, text him again, tell him to put it in the chat. Okay? Put it in the chat. That's what we need. All right? But anyway, that's how you really understand. That's how you understand. Make sure your sound's turned down. That's how you understand the difference between these when we say kwa-wa, which means, by the way, what does it mean over there in the corner? What do we say?
It means gather.
Gather, write that up there.
Count.
Kwa-wa. Like when you say, gather yourself together that way. It's kind of write it up above or in between or something like that, yeah. It means to gather, right? That's what it means, okay? To gather something, right? To gather yourselves or gather grain or out of the field. But you'll never get the full understanding. You can pronounce the Hebrew in the Assyrian, right?
Right.
But it's harder. Why? Which one's easier to you?
I'll say the ancients.
Why? Because it gives you a guideline
Right.
to pronounce the word, right? I mean, that's how I see it, right?
Right.
I mean, I don't see no other way of doing that. It gives you a guideline in which to do that. So on that word right there, gather or kwa, we can get it now. And I want you to write, what's this word up here? Do that one. kind of right below there. Give me another word there, okay? All right?
Rob.
I don't know, what do you say? Rob? Okay, well, that's what it looked like to you? If you didn't write what you see. Uh-huh. Write it in ancient. What you see. Right to left, remember. I mean, write the English on it, right? Do the transliteration on it, right? Rob. Okay. Now, how is that? How did you get Korab out of that?
This is okay in the ancient Hebrew. You get this is in the ancient Hebrew. This is a qua.
That symbol is a qua, isn't it?
Kind.
What does it look like? Like a umbrella.
Right. And it's and it gets a independent connector.
Independent connector, which means that it gets an independent
It gets its own sound.
sound. Go ahead.
And then this is the Ra in Assyrian, but in ancient, and it is dependent on the Ba, but
How do you know that?
because it has a dependent connector.
The connector. Good. All right. Illustrate that. Gets qua and then ra. You know, just like you had it before.
Alright, so that
Uh-huh.
with that qua,
Right.
which is this right here, I'm
Right.
underlining.
Right.
That's the qua, and then with the Ra, it gets a dependent connector, and that's how you get Rob.
How do you get Rob out of that?
It's in the ancient, this is a
How come it ain't qua rabba?
because it has a dependent connector, so you
What are
won't
the
need
rules?
it gets its full sound.
Which gets the full sound?
The Rob.
The what?
The Rob.
The Rob. Or the what gets its full sound up
The
there?
Rob's like
I mean, be careful what you say because that what the word you say is what I'm gonna hear.
kind
So explain it. Start over and explain it again.
of
Right.
the Rob. The Rob gets its full sound.
Okay. It does. And okay, I mean, be confident in what you're doing. Qua, ra, full sound, right?
Right.
What about the ba?
The Ba is dependent on Ra because it has an dependent connector.
That's exactly right. You said exactly what you need to say. It's dependent upon the ra. And it's dependent on, because it's dependent upon ra, now you can make them to sound of one sound.
Right.
That's what you want. Rab. Not like qua. Now write it as though it was like qua rabah. You know, write that. I'm good to see you. You don't have to write that, baby. Now configure your configure that as though, yeah, there you go. Configure that as though you need to make that sound happen, right? Go ahead.
This is how you get the Ba at the end of Koraba. This has a independent connector.
Mm-hmm.
And the Ba has an independent connector, so it gets Slakia. We got Trooper Kamawan checking in.
Trooper Kamawan checking in. All right.
He also said that he was at the slave, so he'll be in and out.
Okay, I got you now. I understand that. Appreciate it, Kamawan.
Yeah, the Ra is has a independent
Right.
connector, so it gets its own sound.
Right.
The Ba as a independent connect, and that gets its own sound. That's like ba.
That's what Quaraba. But then that's not, of course, what we want, is it? So, and because we don't, but so bring it back to its original form though. I mean, it's mundane what we're doing over and over again, but I'm trying to show you how our language is built, because the words can get more complicated. I mean, you can use either one, don't matter. Yeah, now erase that Quaraba off of there. And we have the word Korab, right? That's what you want, man. That makes better sense? Yeah, that makes sense to me. That's what you want, you know? Yeah, I don't see it in there posted yet. So people don't know how to get their name. So Salakia, sorry for that. Type it in the chat and tell them to send it. Just type it right there in that chat. Right in the chat. Type in the chat to post the Hebrew names right there in that chat. That's what I need. Okay? But anyway, that's what you get this word right here. Quarab. Okay? Quarab. Yeah, we want people to be able to see in the chat, that's looking at the chat, that they can get their benefits of their name. So we have to have officers to go ahead and post it for us. Bob Quashab. Okay? So when we write words like this, and then we come over here in the Assyrian, of course, you don't see all of that. All you see is a sound. You don't see how those sounds are administered and how to properly do that. What you got in there?
Post the Hebrew name.
Okay, good. Gotcha. And so, what about in the Assyrian over here? Tell me about that. Tell me, how do you really see this when you see this sound here? When you see those sounds, what are you seeing right there?
Explain, going to explain what these symbols mean in
Mm-hmm.
ancient. In ancient Hebrew,
Somebody else got something in there?
the common one said, the common one means figure of the truth. I guess he's saying his name meant in Hebrew, the common one. Fighter for the truth.
Fighter for the truth, yeah, right. Of course, common one, there you go. Fighter for the truth. Yeah. And of course what we're getting, what we're getting the common one. It didn't mean, we're not trying to tell you to post what your name means. We're trying to get the officer to post the name for people who have not gotten their name yet in the chat, so everybody else have their benefit. It has not got posted there yet. But we're trying to understand the difference between ancient, write a ancient up here. That's the ancient, right? A-N. And right over here, what's that one? Ooh. Syrian, right? That's close enough. Okay, and in that, explain to me your name's Fighter the Truth. Warrior.
Right. So,
Fighter man.
In the
What you got here?
alright, this is the Assyrian Hebrew.
Right.
This first symbol that is a qua,
Mm-hmm.
kind of looks like
Like some sort of P, right?
Like some type of P.
Right.
And we got this other character. We got Ra, and it kind of looks like
Right.
a backwards R.
Right.
And then next character we got Ba. So that kind of like a backwards number one.
Sorta, but
Right.
if you make it like that,
Right.
like a little hangman, right?
Hangman, right.
But so when we say put them all together, we say Quarab, right?
Kind
Right. That's exactly what you want right there, right?
of.
Right. But that's how you would do that, right?
Right.
So when you compare the two, what's the comparison? Which one would you do? What's better? Which one would you understand quicker?
To me, the ancient.
And on this one too, right? And because you can you have explanation of how to write the word, right?
Right. And it, like even though I guess when you see this in the ancient, I'm guessing these are not there. Like you're not gonna have those guidelines to help you.
In the what? In the ancient?
In the ancient.
You mean Assyrian?
Now in the ancient, I'm pretty sure like if we was to have to read this in a book or something, we won't have these
Why not?
connectors to be.
Why not?
Oh, we will. So like I was guessing.
Of course.
Okay, so like.
Why wouldn't you? It's not complete without these.
Right. Okay. So like.
I mean, if I ever see something up there not like that, then it would be complete.
Right. Okay.
That makes sense?
Kind of see that makes sense.
Okay.
But yeah.
That makes sense?
Kind of see.
Okay.
And the ancient makes sense to me.
And the ancient makes sense, right?
Right.
Exactly. That's the whole point. That makes sense? Okay. Type in there, we need to put the, I'm gonna type it one more time here. Wait a minute, do you have, right here, come here, let me show you. Just type that, attendance sign-in sheet.
Okay.
Post attendance,
Okay.
post attendance, sign in. Post attendance, sign in. But that's what it is. When you see, just like you were saying, Nayar, Trooper Nayar, when you see, every time you see the ancient Hebrew, you're going to see the independent and the dependent connectors. You're going to see that, right? Yeah, you're going to see that because what made you thought that you wouldn't see it?
I really thought it was just for, class purposes.
Nah.
Like,
And that's why, okay, look up on the chart.
okay.
What do you see up there? You thought it's somebody made up?
Nah, okay, so on top we got the read from right to left, and you see the, okay.
You thought it was, why'd you think it was for class purposes?
I just thought it was something that helped the students, to pronounce the word.
And you think it just made it up?
So like,
Huh?
okay. So like,
I mean, I can understand why you said it. You thought it was just made up, right?
Kinda.
No, it's not made up. It's the Most High actually gave us that, right?
Okay.
Those things, because we see that in the relief chisel stones,
Okay.
those things are there, and somebody has broke that down on the transliteration to find out that that's what it means.
Oh, okay.
Okay? Okay? That's what it means, all right? So, Korab, what does that mean?
Like, Korab means battle.
Battle. Go ahead, put that word down there. So, battle, right? And that's why when you get Yakarab, that's like, that's a word that's fighting, right? Yakarab, okay? Still haven't got it in our chat over here? I don't know what the problem is over there. It's all right. Just leave it. Yakarab, man. It's like that's what we're looking for, the attendance sign-in sheet to be posted in here. It's not in here yet. But Yakarab. So Karab means like to battle, man. Like ready to battle, when you're ready to fight, right? And that's what Korab means. That's the kind of battle you want. But okay, all right, let's do this one. Where are we at now? You can go ahead and erase those. And so you can have some more. All right, and people, you guys can write along with it. And you guys just pay attention, or you can Matayal, Lakamawan, and whoever else wants to write in the chat if you want to do that. But this is just a night that I just want to go over the difference between the ancient and the Assyrian. Because now the yard knows that these are not incidentals up here, right? All right, what's this right here? Write that down. Up to the top there. What do you see? Go ahead and write that word down as you see it in English, okay?
Okay.
Mm-hmm. gotta spell it right now.
Oh, so like,
You got ahal, it's
yeah,
like
it's
a,
like,
I don't know, like a Syrian word or something. I don't know what that is. Like, go ahead. Write it correctly.
okay.
But how do you spell ah? Ah is always spelled like that, yeah. A-H, right?
Okay.
All right, go ahead, finish up. Okay. Allah, right? What else next? Yeah, that's a wa, right?
Okay.
Now what are you gonna do? There you go. And see, and now I'll tell you another thing too. Well, this is the what? Ancient here?
Okay.
Right above that, that's the ancient, right? That's English. Ancient language, right?
Okay.
Ancient, right? Now with that ancient right there, how did you know to write that word like that when you said Allah wap? When you said wap, I noticed that you were able to look at it
Okay.
and ascertain at how to write that or how to do it. You were very meticulous about how to write that, right?
Okay.
Other than this,
Right.
you know,
Okay.
you know what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, help me out. I say these connectors, they help out a lot.
Yeah, you thought that was something that somebody just made up,
Right.
but somebody that the angels of the Lord did do it.
Right.
The Most High did that,
Okay.
but it wasn't me.
Right.
Okay, go ahead. Explain it.
Okay, so, you know.
Go ahead and use your blue pen there. Explain that. Keep it in your pocket so you have it.
Okay.
Is the sound on?
Can't say yes.
Okay, go ahead. I'm making sure
Alright, so
there's a connection there.
with this R,
Yeah.
it is a independent connector, so it gets its own sound.
Okay, and what sound is that?
This first.
And on the chart, where is the ah there? Okay, got you. Okay,
And that's
so you say that's an ah, right? So you know it spells AH.
right.
Is that a vowel?
Can't say it's about
Okay. How many vowels are there?
2.
And they are?
I, R, and I.
Yeah, very good. All right. Now what's next?
So the next one is La, and it also has a independent connector, so it gets its own sound. La.
It gets its full sound and on sound, which I'll accept on or full, either one, right? Go ahead.
And then Wa.
This will help you when writing things down like that, right?
Wa, it depends on the pa, so that's how you get
Or the pa depends on the wa too. Either one, right?
Right, either one.
Because you the wa gonna get its full sound,
Right.
I think, right?
Yeah.
But I know what you're saying. Go ahead.
So that's how you get the word wa, because you know it has a dependent connector. That wa, that pa depends on the wa, but you don't get that pa you don't get the pa at the end. So if we was to have two independent connectors, it would be Allah pa wa.
Allah, wa pa.
Wa pa, so like
And then we don't want that, do we?
Allah.
So what do we want? And all words don't end like this. That just so happen the ones we pick out happen to look like that.
Right.
Okay, but go ahead. Now you explained that very well. That means that now that you'll be able to break down a word and you'll be able to put down something on paper, you'll begin to understand it. Why do we use that? And of course we use Assyrian too now. Okay, now go ahead and explain the Assyrian there. We use Assyrian also. Right, go ahead and explain the Assyrian.
Assyrian, you got the first character that is Ah. Salak. That ain't hard. Yeah, kind of. That first character is Ah. It kind of look like a. Can't explain what it look like.
What does it look like?
Kind of like an X.
Get it? Okay, and it is. It is, and I kind of like, sometimes I do them like this, which I understand.
Alright, yeah, that first character looks like an X kind of sorta.
Right.
Which is the R, and then that second character it's like a backwards.
But what is that? That's an A, right?
Come.
It's R sound? Okay, go ahead.
And that next character is like a backwards 3.
Yeah, but what is that?
It's like that is a La.
And it's like a handicap ramp, doesn't it?
Kind of, yeah.
Okay, all right. If you were, and of course, what is it? Also looks like this too, right? Just so people can understand. Because it's starting to get out of character right there, right?
Kinda.
You want to do it like this, right?
Right.
That looks like a 3 too, right?
Kinda.
But that's what it really looks like on the chart, okay?
Kinda.
Or like this. We'll cross some, right?
Kinda.
Bend it a little bit and then like that.
Okay.
Something like that.
Alright, this next character
Right.
is a Y. I like a backwards R.
I wouldn't say that because there's another symbol like a backwards R, right? The car looks like that. The car on the in the connector car.
Right.
So it looks like a 7 where the line goes up in the air. That's really how you want to explain that, right?
Kinda.
All right, go ahead.
And the next character that is a Pa. Call. Explain what that look like.
What does it look like? Look at the chart. Does that look like what you want it to look like?
Like a backwards upside down G.
Okay, now that's fine.
Right.
And that's nothing wrong with that, right? Yeah, you can do it that way. Or you can do it like, now the reason why I said this, it's a shame that we have to go and figure out what these things look like
Right.
in the Assyrian, right? But they look funny, don't they?
And that.
Backwards, upside down G. But now if that will help you with your memory, that's fine.
Right.
Because that's how, whatever it takes for that to happen. Okay, what are the guidelines behind that? Of saying, what is that? This is I.S.U.P.K, right? What are the guidelines for saying this? How you know that's not Allah Wapa?
You won't know unless you had that ancient.
So what does that mean?
The ancient is more important. Oh,
It's more important or it's more superior?
superior, right?
And who did the ancient language?
Most High.
Most High, right? So where do we get this Assyrian from? The Most High, He created all nations,
Right.
but He certainly didn't tell us to put us in captivity and give us a new language.
Right.
You know, somehow that happened. It's but in of course in America when we write a pa, we've been a language that we would not understand. Who we have in the chat there?
The common one said, general on deck.
That's what he's saying.
Yeah.
Allah. All right, go ahead and write this word. That's what he's asking there.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right, Lakamawan.
Oh, go ahead, right. Okay. That's
Yeah, what's this word here? It really means, we'll show you what that on deck really means. We'll show you really what that means, okay, in a second here. Unless somebody in the chat kind of knows. But it does mean that he's on deck, but the correct way of saying it is this word right here. We'll see if he can do that. What is that word? Follow the rules. What's this?
Nah.
Well then, don't nah get a sound or something?
Concept.
Well, it ain't an end by itself, so
Concept.
follow the rules. You told me that the Lord gave you independent connectors, did He not?
Concept.
All right, go ahead. Okay. Now, so what's going on there? Alright, think about it. Right?
Kind
Why is that? Why it's like it's breaking a rule a little bit, isn't it?
yeah, kind
Instead of panaya. Why is that? Why is not an ah there?
So like, okay, kind of, that's what I did.
What did you do?
Basically, I made up my own word. I wasn't paying attention to the connectors.
No, I mean, how does the word spell?
Plain yeah.
Well, that is spelled correct.
Okay. Oh.
So why is it not following the rule? That's the point.
Well, okay, so the pa.
It's just one of those that don't follow that rule, that's all.
Right.
There's not an A there, but the
Right.
Yah gets the full sound at the end.
Okay.
Panya. That's just the way the word goes. I'm
Can
sorry.
you elaborate on that? Like, cause you see how
Well,
you got the dependent connector.
Right.
So
This is an exception to the rule, that's all it is.
it's all okay.
That's all it
I
is.
gotta remember that.
And, why you gotta write it down? It's on the board.
Right.
We can write it down later. But Panya, right, means what?
Face.
Write that down. I just thought I'd throw one in there that abrupts the rule. People don't pay attention, then they're not in class and not paying attention. Class, yeah, exactly right. You did right. You spelled it 100% right.
Right.
But the rule, you had to think about it, because if you'd have wrote a na in there, panaya,
Yeah.
it's panya.
Right.
Pun. So what do we really want? That means these are wrong.
Right. Yeah. I was about to say. I mean, those would be wrong.
To make it follow by the rule you're talking about,
Kind of.
right? So the rule that we're saying is this.
Yeah, I'll be independent. Oh. Right. Concept. Right.
But now it seems like it breaks the rule,
Yeah.
right?
Concept.
I mean, if I want somebody to understand that word and how it's spelled. Now, comma one, now you know that panya means face. That means stand. I'm sorry. It means face the general is what it means, right? That's what it means, okay? I just wanted him to know that. Right? Face the general. Now there's another way. Yeah, I did that so you could see when you wrote it down. When you wrote it down, you were writing. What happened was you were following what I wrote down, but then you did it instinctively, I guess, and didn't put panaya. But wouldn't this be more correct right here? Okay, explain this.
This is the ancient Hebrew. This is a pa,
Mhm.
and pa depends on the character na, because it has a deep connector.
Right.
So that's how you get pa.
That ain't how you get pond. What do you see up there?
Pond. So like,
That's how you get pond. Okay, or pan. Some
Pan,
people
right.
it's pond.
Come.
And then now finish.
And this last script it has a deep, independent connected.
Right.
It's a ah. That's how you get ya.
Now stop right for the exactly right. Now you understand. Now you understand why that is, right?
Kind of.
Now we got it now. We understand, so that rule is good then.
Right.
We don't have to go up there and write an independent. Well, before we had independent, and down here pon, we would have had na ya.
Right.
Now you understand how you use the connectors, right?
Kind.
Those connectors, remember that.
Right.
In your tenure in I.S.U.P.K. and the way you write things,
Right.
that's how you write things.
Okay.
Follow that rule.
Kind.
That rule ain't gonna change unless you use some vowels.
Right.
There's some vowels in there that'll make it change sometime.
Kind.
I've seen that. Okay? Threw you off a little bit first, huh?
Yeah.
Got it. But anyway, that's the point. What about this? Go ahead and explain the Assyrian,
The
One.
first character that is a pa.
right?
I said it looks like a backwards upside down G.
Right?
The next character that is a la. It's like that is a ya.
What is this? And what's this?
No.
Start over. What's this?
That is a pa, and that is a na. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
and that last character was like a
Yeah, just talk to him. I'm pointing to it. What is that?
kind of like a little small backwards upside down L.
Okay, or
Oh, top line.
what does it look like on the chart?
Like a apostrophe.
Apostrophe. Okay, yeah. Keep it kind of.
Kind
Keep that. There's no mistake about writing that, right? So when we say panya, it means face. So when we say alawat panya, what does it mean?
turning face the generals.
We didn't say sar. We just said. So what does it mean?
Face the general.
Face the general. That's all it means. Clap up, right? So if I say sar and madyam, alawat panya. Right, what did I say? Sar.
Stand.
Sar's turn.
Right. Turning face.
I said sar. Amadyam means to stand.
Stand. Right.
You should automatically stand.
Okay.
So I don't have to say that. I just made a sentence, right? And then what else did I say? Sar amadyam alawat panya. What am I saying?
Face the general.
Sar, stand and face the general.
Okay.
Sar.
Face. Stand.
Sar's turn.
Turn. Right.
Sar,
Turn.
amadyam,
Face. No.
amadyam. Amadyam means to stand.
Stand. Right.
Just remember this when you're in cyber service. This is for you too.
Okay.
All right? So sar means to
Turn.
turn. So when I say amadyam, right?
Concept.
And then I say alawat panya, right?
Concept.
And and I say madyam shabbat, madyam, right?
Concept.
And then I say barak, right?
Concept.
Barak is to bless.
Concept.
Then you say Yahweh Shem Yahushai Barak Atham, right? Okay. If it's more than one general, then it's Atham, right? Or so you salute the highest general, correct?
Right.
And that's Commander General Yohanna. It's just one general. Could be General Mayak, could be General Kabbalah, could be General Hazahan, could be General Mahayim, right? And usually is, right? And they lead out on classes, right? And that's when you said Alawat Panya. That means what? What's Alawat? The general. Oh, Alawat the general, right? So write that word down. It means general, right? You got that, Lakamuan? That's what you want to say. Okay? It means general, right? So you're getting a better idea. So far, if we were taking a test, which would be better? Which language? But you have to do the Assyrian, right? That means you got to know it, right? And that's why. Go ahead.
Like it. So we have to learn the Assyrian because that's what the scrolls were written in.
Some of them, and some of the written in the original language is the what?
The Assyrian. I mean the ancient.
The original language was the what?
The ancient.
Okay. And the Assyrian was the language that we learned
When we were in captivity.
in captivity. Clap it up for the brothers. Okay. Exactly right. That's the point. And so we had to learn it, just like you're learning it right now, just like I'm learning it right now. That makes sense? We learning this language because we don't know, but the scrolls and the stones and the artifacts We see that, and you'll see the any connectors and all that. That's where we get this chart from, and that's how we, the Commander General YAHANNA, and brought this forth from his tenure when he first started. You know, now he's a general now. When he first started off, a trooper and worked his way up, man. You know, that's now we got it. The benefits. Thank the Most High for giving us a Commander General YAHANNA that would take this on further, so that I can learn this, so that I won't be sitting up here with the English language. You know, thank the generals, man. You know, that's why, we want to make sure that people, when you get in here, you want to join class, get in here in the class, especially up in Simpsonville or Greenville, South Carolina, Simpsonville area, that you get your name accredited for. That's why we're still waiting for the chat to be posted in our chat, the name have to be posted in our chat, man, so we can have people be able to sign for credit to as they get in class. But that's what we're after. We want to know, how do we spell in different languages of ancient and Assyrian? Which one is better? And so far you're telling me, what, overwhelmingly? Huh?
So yeah, kind of that ancient helped a lot.
But ancient helps a lot. Why? Because you thought that was so when you see the chart, look at that chart now, y'all. You see what the Most High gave us, man? You thought that was what? Just something that was just laying around and somebody invented the system?
Right.
Nah, man, that ain't how we do that.
Okay, and that's spelling Lashawan.
Huh?
Yeah, so that right there is spelling Lashawan Qadash.
Exactly. That's what it spells. Lashawan Qadash, right? Okay, go ahead and erase this. Let's get something else up on the board. Okay? Exactly right. That's what it spells, Lashawan. Right? So now you know what you're reading when you see something that says Alawak Panya, right? It's a face. It's a facing. Respect, right? You don't turn and not face the general, correct?
Correct.
You can leave those lines up there, and we'll get on. I just want people to get an idea from ancient to Assyrian. One of the troopers is saying, I say, overwhelmingly, all right, overwhelmingly that what? That ancient is better, right?
Ancient is better, right?
So we write. Let's take. If I want to say more than one general, how would I say that?
Ayalak.
How would you? Go ahead. Sorry.
Ayalak Payam. No, it's a lie.
You're close. How about Allah? Wap Yum.
Okay.
So write that word down. Just write it down in English.
Okay.
You go Allah Wap, right?
Okay.
That's general. Ah, la. There's something wrong with that spelling there, though. Allah, Allah Wap. Is it Allah Wap?
Oh, yeah, it's Alawak.
Okay. That how we spelled it? Go ahead. No. Allah. What is it spelled over there?
Alawak, right. Alawak.
Always start that, and that's a good way to understand a word. You always got to start with the base word first, right? Before you pluralize something. Alawa. Now you want to put yam. Here, do it in another color for me. Or underline it. Just underline that. Yeah, just, there you go. Alawak yam. And that'll never change if it's plural.
Alawak, yeah,
Okay? So that means more than one general, right? plural, right? So right up under there, PL for plural. Okay? So that's what that means, right? So, in understanding that, let's see here. Yeah, we ain't gonna get it in there tonight. Oh Lord. So we write down, let's see. So what we write down? Many generals, or a lot of generals, right? So let's write down like field generals, because like say they're in the field. Write the word down, Gadar. Write that word down, Gadar. No, I'm sorry. Shadah. Ooh, Lord.
In English?
Yeah, English. Shadah. Yeah.
I seen it.
That should, put an H on there. Yeah, it's not you, because it could be, yeah, Shadah. I guess I'd say it right. Slock it. So that means what? Field. So you can write up under there, field. So if I would use the word, like if I was gonna say field generals, that's how you would say it, right? That's the way of doing it, right? They're you know, if I was gonna say field, or really, that means that they're out in the field, okay? That's good enough, that's close enough. I don't have to erase that again. And it's not like the word not like a field, like they go out in the field, like they go to camp, right? Or something like that. So we say field, right? Or something, I'm just kind of give you something to go by, right? Let's put down the word, yeah, that's alawap, yeah. So we put down the word, you know, like the garment you wear? Put over here, bagad, B-A-G-A-D, bagad, B-A-G-A-D. Okay, now I want you to, in Assyrian, write down that word, bagad in Assyrian. Write it up. Yeah, right. No, you're right. Right to left. Yeah. So far, so good. That's a perfect B. Now you're learning, right? Ba. Now we need what?
God.
Need a God, right? Go ahead, break it down. Yeah, close enough. Looks not bad. Is that a, yeah, that's right. Now what we got? I look like a cow to me, bro. You know, I'm very particular about my symbols, man. About the, you know, how did I tell you how to make a D? Straight line across the board, straight line down. Now, make a T, only with a little bit more to the right. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. That's not a D. Make a straight line across the board. On that, yeah, like a T. Yeah, like that. That's a D right there. Now, how could I tell? That little stem. See, now there you go. See, you learned that. You remember that from last time, right? That's why you're in class now, y'all. Now, write that in a ancient language there. a language that we can understand. But God, right? Right. Take your time, man. Don't fight it. As I used to be told. What are you writing now? G?
G.
Okay, go ahead and write a G then. Yeah, why you fighting that?
I'm trying to figure out if it's going straight down or slanted.
No, it's not. It's always slanted.
Okay.
And it's like too long, but
Too long.
yeah, I mean, it's like the word, the G, I mean, you got one in there, erase it and do it right. Make everything level, the same levelness. Yeah, there you go, that's perfect right there. Okay, now what's the next word? Next letter, I'm sorry. A sound, I'm sorry. Okay, do it right now. Now, are you done with that word?
Loud, so you got to put your
Go ahead.
connect.
Go ahead. Give me some connectors, man. Put the connectors up there. Yeah, that looks right to me. Right?
Okay.
Yeah. And see, you didn't really have to hesitate too much because of the word that's already spelled. So you can imagine doing transliterations. If you see something on stone, now you got the idea, right? You can say, man, now I know the rules behind this.
Right.
I know the rules behind how I write this. Now, and don't get me wrong. So what would you use as a basis to write that word? This or that?
The ancient.
Okay, once you spell the ancient, then the Syrian is easy.
See if you're right.
Why is it easy? You're right, but why?
Because it means the same thing. Can't say it look the same because it's two different characters.
What's the advantage?
Right.
If you get this right,
Okay.
then you can get the
You
get the ancient right.
Right. And the Syrian it's all gonna fall in place.
Why?
Because it sound the same.
Sounds the same.
Right.
Exactly. So you simply do what? You ain't even gotta go that far.
Right.
All you gotta do is duplicate what you see in front of you.
Right.
What do you see in front of you? Spell Shaddai. Let's prove the point. Spell that right up under there. Over there. Spell Shaddai. Shaddai. We'll prove the point, right? Shah, yeah. Go ahead. I see you chose to use the ancient first, huh?
Okay.
Good. That's nothing wrong with that. Hey, don't blame me. Now, Shaddai, follow your rules. That's all you gotta do is follow the rules. Yeah. Now, based off of that, can you write the Assyrian? You got it in front of you, right? Well, why can you write the Assyrian based off of that? Well, do it. Go ahead. There you go. Paying attention to class, I see. I can buy it. I can use that. I can live with that. Go ahead. Straight line across the board. You got a D up there, don't you? Well, use that then. Memorize this stuff, man. What is that, a Ga?
Oh, it's a lot. That's
Pay attention to what you're doing. Pay attention to that. That's not a. I mean, you know, you got it. You look at the word. What? Okay, wait a minute. You write a shah, right? Okay, look. Just slow down. Look at that word right there in front of you. What do you see there?
Shah.
Mm-hmm.
Da.
Mm-hmm.
Shada.
What? Yeah, you're right. But what letters do you see? What sounds do you see on the board?
Shah. Da. That has a.
What sounds do you see on the board? What sound? It's not a trick question. What sounds do you see on that board right there?
Shada.
Well, say it then. Say it. What sounds do you see? You said Shah.
Shah.
Right.
Ha.
That's all I ask you.
Okay.
Okay. Now, duplicate that down there.
Okay.
You confused me right there. Is that a what? Is that a D?
Okay.
That ain't no D.
What is wrong?
You're writing Assyrian now. Yeah. That's why I say the word out. I mean, say the sound out. Sha, da, and yeah, and ha, right? And that's how you know. See, so don't make the mistake, Nayar, of writing something down. Once you've gotten it, you told me the ancient. Which one of those ancient? Okay, right above that ancient. And write the Assyrian above the other one, ASSR, close enough. RY, whatever. Okay, Assyrian, right? So if you got ancient Assyrian, then all I got to do to duplicate that is simply just write down what I see. I ain't got to do much more than that, do it. Why are you looking over there to try to find out what's you need to do there? All you got to do is drop down and write the Shah, the Da, and the Ha, really. Unless you don't know those. That's what we're here for, to learn those, right? You understand what I'm saying? So what does, what did I say? Alawab, then I said field, and then I said, what did I say, Shaddai?
Shaddai means field.
Field, okay, right. And Bagad, right? And that's what you want. That's what you're after. That's what you're trying to do. You're trying to show the difference between the ancient and the Syrian, right?
Right.
Which one's easier, right?
The ancient.
Huh?
The ancient is easy.
It's easier, right? It's huh?
Because you got those connected.
You got those connections. You like those connections, right?
Okay.
Those connections. So right Alahayim. Allah, or we can erase some of that stuff. Just erase all that over there. And let's erase that. Help you out there a little bit, you know. Right? What did I say? I'll tell you what. Let's do this. Let's write the word Baba Kwasha. Baba. There you go. Kwa. Kwa. When has there been a U in our language?
No.
Baba Kwa. Sha. Shah. Ha. Ha. Put an H on there. Okay?
At the end too?
Put an H on there. Okay? Now, that word means please, so write that down. I say, you ever see people around saying they say, Baba Kwasha? That's what they're saying please, right? Now I want you to translate that, transliterate that, and write it down how to say it. Get rid of that but God over there. Yeah, get rid of that. Let's keep your eraser in your pocket. It'll be a lot easier. Okay? All right, Baba Kwasha, say please. Let's transliterate this word. And do it in, let me see if you can do it in Assyrian first. Right down underneath it, man. Right down underneath it, right. You can do it in black or whatever. Okay? Yeah, I didn't do any audience participation because I want people to see the illustrations. So the next class will have you guys participate. So that's okay. All right, Bob, right? Just write down what you see up there. That's all you have to do. Okay? Well, just make everything the same size. That's all I care. Okay, yeah, it looks like a hangman, right? That's Baba, right? What about that Kwa? Yeah, close that P up there, I believe, isn't it? And it closed up. And it closed up. It's not? Okay, and if it's not, don't worry about it. Yeah. I guess it's not. You're right, it ain't closed. Been a while since I've done it. Qua, and then what? Alright, go ahead with it. Alright. And that is what? Shah? What's next? You want a ha, right? Okay, what does a ha look like? It's Assyrian, right? Good. You've been ready to do the one in, which is fine. And okay, go ahead, please. Right above there in ancient, right? Say right above there. Give me some space up there, man, so you can have some. Well, I wanted you to write the word above there. That'll work too. Go ahead. Well, yeah, if you want to do it that way, fine.
Oh, right.
Right. However you put the word, put it up there. However you want to do it. What are you doing? Erase that. Just put the word Baba Shah in ancient. Write it above the Assyrian. Right there. Right? Okay. So this is an exercise also in do you know the chart, right? Okay. And take that line all up to the top. That's correct there, okay? All right, go ahead. Right. All right. Put some connectors on there and you might have it. Okay, and see, you become really, really accustomed to drawing these connectors, right? Because it's begun to get easier, right? And then, of course, here, if you would see this word written, you wouldn't quite know, and I'm gonna give you an illustration here. Remember we talked about that? We talked about, I'll just give you a word right here. I want you to write this in the Assyrian for me. Okay? Okay, let me see. Let me see. Let's see if I can get one. I'm gonna write this here. Let me see. That ain't right. There we go. Oops. Yeah. Is that right?
Okay, that's a Y.
You're right. Spell the word right. Oh, yeah, there it is. That.
Oh, okay.
I just want to make sure I got it spelled right. Yep. Write that. What are we gonna write that in?
In the ancient.
In the ancient. Go ahead. What do I do at the top of this thing? You got a top to this?
Yeah, concept.
Where we go?
No.
Yeah. What word are you trying to do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
There you go. See, that's why that's why coming to class really helps, because it prods your memory, right?
Okay.
Gotcha. So what does that word spell? Go ahead and do your connectors. I don't know. Take your time. I mean, it's difficult. It's made to be some difficult, right?
Yeah,
It's made to be difficult so you'll understand what you're writing. But the end results is you will have learned. Okay, go ahead. Okay, pronounce that.
Allah, Yum.
Allah Yum.
Allah Yum.
That means what? What does Allah mean? Power.
Power, right.
So if I say Allah Yum, what does that mean?
It's plural for more than one, so powers.
Powers? Clap it up for the brother right there. That's what I'm talking about. See, now you're learning, right?
Okay.
So if I say Alahayim, it means is translated as power. So write that down. Yeah, that's your word. You got to say that. The powers, man, when the Most High is Alahayim. Powers. Okay? And that's, that's where that come from. So that's where you got that word from. You know, now you see, I wrote it in what? Syrian? You read it, didn't you? Wasn't quite sure, but then you looked down there. So what did you simply do? What all you had to do? Whether you knew it or not, what did you have to do?
I had to sound it out first so I could see how the words sound, the full word sound. And once I figured out what the whole world was saying, that's how I got the Assyrian. I mean, that's how I got the ancient. I got it based off, the sound.
But did I not write it down in, you're right about what you're saying. But if I didn't know how it really sounded, all I had to, if I was going to transliterate that word, what would I have to do?
You would have to write it in the ancient.
And how would I do that? Did I have to sound it at all? Did I have to go around, you reading it? And you didn't have to, if I never sounded it, could you write it?
No, I don't think I would.
Why not?
Because it don't have the, well, I did, without the connectors.
So, no, what I'm getting at is Alahayim.
Right.
You read that.
Concept.
But if I never told you what that said, which you're going to figure it out anyway because you know how to read Assyrian, right?
Right.
Could you write it in ancient?
If I didn't know what that meant, no, it's lies I would. I'm saying.
Could you write it? And can you go from here to here without hearing the sound?
You can't say it, you can't.
Okay, why?
Because I knew what that, I knew how to read in Syrian.
That's, clap it up for that, brother. That's what I'm trying to get you to see. You don't even have to know necessarily. Now, don't get me wrong. It helps if you know how. But if I knew the letters up here, or the sounds, or what they are, you know them anyway, so it's kind of like a trick question, sort of. You know it's Alahayim.
Right.
But if I never did, all you gotta do is just duplicate that. Oh, that's an A, that's an L, that's a Ha, that's a Ya, that's a Ma. Whatever the hell, it's a lot for my English, but whatever it sounded like, would it matter? At least I'd have it down there.
Right.
Now, when I'm trying to find out what it really sounds, I mean, at least I can just duplicate it.
Right.
Now, when I'm trying to do the connectors, now I gotta know what it sounds like. It would help. So when I say Alahayim, oh, that's when the connectors come in. So therefore, if I had connectors already, then it's easy to write this. It ain't got no connectors. You just duplicate what?
You just opened my mind to something. So like,
I know I did. Exactly.
Okay.
I ain't gotta, that's what I tried to, your mind just expanded. That's what I was trying to get you to see. That you don't, if I didn't even sound it out, you would still just write down what you see in front of you. But now you still want to know how it sounds. So you gotta pronounce that. But if you didn't pronounce it at all, what would happen? Go ahead.
I'll be stuck.
No, I mean, if I didn't pronounce it, you can still write the ancient, right?
Right, okay.
Right or not? Now the connectors is what comes to play.
Right.
That's what you couldn't write the connectors unless you knew how that sounded. That makes sense?
That makes sense.
That's all I'm trying to say. You have to know what?
Well, you gotta know the sounds. You gotta know. Like, you gotta know what it sounds like before you can write the ancient.
Do I?
Depending if you know this.
I mean, do I know? Okay. Let's go further. Do I need to know what it sounds like to write from ancient to Assyrian? I mean, to Assyrian to ancient. Do I need to know that?
Kind of say you do.
I do.
Yeah.
Why? Okay, to put the connectors on, I need to know how it sounds.
Concept.
Okay, but do I really need to know how that sounds to duplicate the writing, to transliterate the ancient writing?
Look, cause I already know what that word says.
You already know what it says. I think what you're really saying, you already know the what? The sounds above.
Can't sound right.
The sounds.
Kind.
You already know the sound. And then, sort of a trick question
Yeah,
there. Here, erase those.
Kind.
I'm trying to prove a point to you. And it's kinda, let me see if I can find a word, that kinda like throws some stuff in there different. I'm just trying to get you to see that, I'm trying to get you to do a point without me telling you, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Here, write the word, if I was gonna write the word, Karab. Karab.
Right, then the English or the Assyrian.
I'm sorry, write it down and, right, go ahead and erase that over there. I'll write it in English first, yeah, Slocky, I'm sorry, please, write it down. Karab. There you go, or over there.
This is a guess.
Karab. Karab. Perfect. Yeah, I got it right. Yeah. Well, why would you be surprised?
Cause I would thought the car would have been that K8.
No. Oh yeah. I understand that.
Right.
I mean, it can only be one or the other. If you wrote a K, it wouldn't have been your fault.
Right.
Because I didn't spell it out. I
Right.
just said ka. Here's one way of saying it also.
Okay.
If I say like, you ever heard of the long sounds in English, like they put a long
Kinda what you
L,
mean.
a long sound over
Yeah.
a word of a vowel.
I know what you mean.
I'll say, well, if I say Karab,
Right.
that's the CHAA. If I say Karab,
Right.
that's a short CKA.
Okay.
Got a difference?
Kinda.
That's like a long sound. It's just like, it sounds crazy, but that's one way of doing it.
Right.
Okay? If I say ka, and that's just the way, if I do it that way, at least you'll understand it. But I could say Karab, right?
Right.
But what if I said Kawakab? That's a K, that's a KA.
That'll be a K.
Kawakab.
Right. You're right.
But if I say Karab, what if I say Raka?
So that'll be-
Spell that. Go ahead. Raka. Listen how I'm sounding it. Raka. Okay, that's close. And then, but just put a W in there for the. No, you're right there. Put a W on the R. No,
Oh, it's like
please don't put a W on it. Put a. How do you hear it? Ra, or if I say raw cob,
Okay.
or raw cob. Now you don't know. I mean, you just put a W after the A.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would have known that. But don't put it after cob.
Kinda.
Let me see. No. Erase the A. R-A-W. Yeah, you wouldn't. I mean, it's kind of hard to say raw cob. Raw cob. See, that's just the way it's spelled. No. What are you doing? Erase that. Raw, like raw cob. Raw.
It'll be
Raw. How you spell raw?
R-A-W.
Let's put that R-A-W up there then. What do you think I'm trying to say to you? Raw cob. Raw cob. Okay? Let me saying cob. It's raw cob. Raw cob.
Okay.
But you hear the ka? That the whole point is the ka.
Right.
Got it? I'm trying to get you to hear the difference, right?
Concept.
Raw ka, right?
Concept.
Okay, now put the word kawakab. 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 You hear it, don't you? Kawakab. 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 No, I didn't say Kaab. I said Kawakab. And it's hard to understand, man. Don't get me wrong. Erase that C, man. I don't need to see that. I didn't say Kawakab. I didn't say that, did I? I say Kawakab. Kawakab. There you go. That's it right there. Now you hear the difference? You hear the long C-A-A? Ka. It takes a time to pronounce those A's, doesn't it? So pronounce those. Ra. Raw.
Karab.
Oh yeah, Karab. You're up there. Okay. Ka. Pronounce that one.
Raka.
Raka.
Kawakab.
There you go. See how you shorten the ka? That's the lesson learned, right? All right, you got to understand now?
Yeah.
And that's all I'm trying to get you to see is this is a lesson I'm trying to get you to hear. When you hear, and this is for everybody who wants to learn how to spell something, because it's the way whatever the teacher or whatever somebody's pronouncing something to you, whoever it is, whoever's trying to tell you something, or whoever's trying to say what something is. If I say ka, it's almost like this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You remember that in that root, right? Or like this. Ka.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just long and short. Nah, I don't want to confuse nobody. That's English though.
Yeah.
But ka, and that's ka. Wa, ka. Raw ka. Hear that long ka? That's a big difference, right? Go ahead, write these out in Assyrian. No. Write them out. Well, why you scared of Assyrian? I mean, you can write them out in write them out in ancient, okay? Go ahead, take your time. Write them out in ancient. Take your time now, write them out in ancient. You got them? What you got? Go ahead. It looks all right. Rob. pronounce those. Explain what you done.
So for our cob, you know, in the
You gonna start with that one? Okay, all right, go ahead.
in the ancient, this is a cob, and that cob, it has a dependent, a independent connected, so it gets its own sound.
It's just full
Full
sound.
sound,
Yeah,
that's
that's
what
full,
I
no, no, it's, I agree with you. On sound, full
It's
sound, either one.
Full sound.
Gotcha.
And then next character is it's a Y,
Uh-huh.
and it also has a independent connected, and that gets its full sound.
Right.
And we got another car, and that bar is dependent on that car, so that's how you get cob.
Cobb, right? So pronounce that word.
Cob. Cob.
Cobb, right?
Okay.
Cobb, right?
Okay.
Okay, and then it's now, how you know it's not a ka with a long sound like ka? How you know that? I kind of gave it to you.
Cob kind of got a, I don't know the right,
No, but what it's right, whatever you say that we discuss in class. Go ahead.
kind of got a longer,
Yeah, that's it.
like a longer sound.
Longer sound, right?
Kinda.
Because they sound alike,
Right.
but those cars are spelled differently, but they have the same sound,
Okay.
except for one of the sounds is, you said longer?
Concept.
Which one? The ka?
The car.
The C-H-A-A,
Concept.
right? And that's pointed to it up there. Yeah, pointed to it on the board. Where is it? That's it, yeah. Wasn't, we're okay, in that color. All right, and then there was the short sound ka. Okay? That's the difference. So if I say kabaka, right?
Right.
Or if I say raka, spirit, right?
Concept.
Right?
Right.
Kawaka, you'll understand it, right?
Right.
So you get the difference, and go ahead, what's the next one? What's the other one you did up there?
The next one is raw car.
Raka,
You know,
which means what? Spirit.
spirit. Okay.
Say it again?
It means spirit.
Raw.
Raw car.
That's it.
Concept.
You said it perfectly. That's what you want there, y'all. And that's how you know. When you're spelling things, you get, I'm trying to give you every advantage there is when you spell something. Okay?
Concept.
All right?
Uh,
As people look in on chat, you know, go ahead.
that first character, that is a raw,
Mm-hmm.
and that Y depends on there. That Y
Uh-huh.
depends on the raw. So
There you go.
it, you know, it gets its, I ain't say its full sound. It depends on, the Y depends on the raw,
Right.
basically. It's like,
So it's raka,
concept.
right? In this sense, raka, right?
Um,
Okay. And it's, I believe it's masculine for spirit, right? Okay?
Then the next word is karab.
Karab, right?
Concept.
Okay, go ahead.
This first character, that is ka, and that has a independent connected, so it gets its full sound. And then the ba depends on ra, so that's how you get the ra. So you get that ra because it has a dependent connected.
Right. Say it again. All right, say all those words again, and we'll. This will be the last lesson that we get. This is a long class, but you learned a lot, right?
Concept, yeah, like
Now you learned how to write from ancient to what? Assyrian,
right.
and you've learned how to pronounce things. And so when we write something, I don't need, if you was to write this, let's, okay, the last thing we'll do. If you were to write Kawakab in Assyrian, what was the first thing you would do? What's the first thing you would do to rewrite that in Assyrian? When that lesson you said, oh, I've learned something. What did you learn?
I'll sound it out first.
Would you have to?
Right.
Would you have to?
Well, no, you won't have to because you already got your
Well then,
connected.
then write it. You don't even need to connect this. What do you got in front of you? Yeah, you need them, but what is that? What is that, a ka?
Concept.
Then write a ka in Assyrian. That's all I'm saying. right?
Con.
Okay, go ahead. That's a za. Are you ready to call? Oh, now, don't give up on me now. Look if you have to. If you take too long, then go ahead and look.
Let me take it too long, right? Oh, right.
Get home, you'll practice some more. You got the rules, all you gotta do is practice now. Looks like an N, and then more of a box look sound, you know? All right. Yeah. All right. Go ahead, finish up. Call.
You know what? Well, no.
What do you see in front of you?
Now I said Yah. I mean Wah.
Oh, what are we doing here, right? The Syrian, right?
In the Syrian.
Okay, now what is that, a Wah? What does a Wah look like in Syrian? You ain't even got, or you don't have to pronounce it, do you? Why don't you have to pronounce it? If you've already got the Assyrian, why do I not have to pronounce it right now? Not necessarily.
Yeah.
Why?
Because I already have it in the ancient.
Been trying to get you to say that all class. You already have it in the what? Clap it up loud. Clap. You already have it in the ancient. Say that again.
I don't need the Assyrian because I already got it in the ancient. Well, I don't have to sound it out.
You don't not you. It's not as particular. Okay, you want to sound it out.
Right.
But the first thing you want to do is do what? Just duplicate.
Yeah.
You already. What did you just say? You already got what?
I already got the ancient. So just okay.
You already got the Assyrian in this case. I mean the ancient. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I already got the ancient. So based off the ancient, that's how I can get the Assyrian. That I can spell the word into the Assyrian.
Now, if you have the ancient, if you have the Assyrian, now you got to do a whole lot of sounding, don't you, to come up with that ancient, right? But go ahead. So we've proven that there you go. All you got to do is just what do you see in front of you, right? That's all you have to do. Just take your time and do it right. There's only one way to write it, and that's how the chart says it. Now we got a what? Okay? Okay, so what did we learn here? What did we learn? We learned ka, ra. That ka is long sound. That's how you know the difference. That's where you get that ka from. Right? What about ka, kawakaba? Short sound. So it's going to be that ka. And then once I got this, what am I doing?
You just transferring the sound to the signal, like transferring.
Why wouldn't you do that? Why are you trying to sound anything out? You already got it.
Right.
You already got it.
Right.
That's why. Understand?
Con.
You already got it. Why are you trying to go through the point? Now, if all you had was this, you better do a whole lot of sounding to get to this. But when you got this, it makes it a lot easier to get to that.
So the whole lesson is basically saying that without that Assyrian, you ain't got nothing. Well, I ain't say you got nothing.
It's harder.
Harder, right? Con.
Okay? You got the lesson in the last understanding.
Right.
It's not, and don't get me wrong, it helps to know what this sound like. Cob or cob. It helps to know this ancient first. So what's better? Ancient or Assyrian?
Ancient.
We proved that, didn't we?
Kind.
And clap it up for class right there. All right. Gonna have some I.S.U.P.K announcements. What time we got?
It is 8:57.
Okay. What is this? Yeah. We the I.S.U.P.K start off 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for the new brother or sister. When a new brother or sister comes to school, they're off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They're here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it after 6 months. If a brother or sister have an interest in a particular person, he or she will get permission from the head to speak to the brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After the 6 months period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes is a commandment, number 1821, Malachi 3, 8, and 10. Means tenth in the Hebrew, ma'asharah. 10% of every penny or increase the Lord gives you. Give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for the priest. It's not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Of holy convocations. The next of holy convocation we're going to have is the Feast of Dedication, what is called YAHANNA. YAHANNA. 25th day of the 9th month by the space of 8 days, Saturday 17th, December 2022 for 8 days. First Maccabees 4:52 and 61. Of course, we're having the Passover in Raleigh, right? So make sure you get with your camp leader on that, right? Let's see. Remind Akim, as brothers, and Akwaf sisters to check the bulletin board in the hallway. If anyone wants to be a troop in the school, to start wearing all black, boots, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. For that we say